Blind spots, blind spots. Do you have blind spots? Like, I know I have blind spots, and I'm talking about this topic. It's actually really funny when you think about in appearance for women, we have this saying called eyebrow blindness, hairstyle blindness, where maybe like you wore a style of hair, or I don't know, like the style of your eyebrows, all that kind of stuff, like appearance and looks. And then you look back on pictures like 5 years later and you're like, oh my God, I cannot believe my eyebrows look like that, or my hair looked like that, or I wore that outfit. Why didn't you guys tell me? And it's called blindness to what you think in the moment. And there's so much, it's a great parallel because there's so many blind spots that we have in life and in business and our families and relationships. And sometimes we choose to be blind to it. And sometimes we just are genuinely, we don't see it. We have like a blinder on. We're just so focused on something else. We're not paying attention to what's going on in the peripheral or behind us. So this kind of topic was so interesting to me, and I thought it'd be really, really important to bring up to women, especially in business and life and in growing and personal development. If you're trying to grow, is looking at the root cause, like looking at what is going on in your life right now and really looking and seeing differently. So the concept came from Keith Cunningham's book, The Road Less Stupid. And I heard him speak several times through the Tony Robbins organization. And he is a brilliant economic, like CPA, financial guy, but he really talks about that. And it really made me kind of think about, wow, what's going on? Like, what are the blindness? And there's a concept of thinking time. And I've spoken about thinking time and the importance of it. But one of the questions are, what are the blind spots in my business? And that made me kind of think about, what are the blind spots in my marriage? What are the blind spots as me being a mom? What are the blind spots of me being a leader? So I challenge you as a woman and as a leader and as a person that's evolving and growing. If you're watching this channel, you're really interested in personal development and growing and building a life by design on your terms, then this is what you need to think about, and being very intentional about asking the question of, where am I being blind and where can I make changes in my behavior in yourself, and reflecting back to yourself, which then will catapult and make changes everywhere else in your life. It's pretty cool when you think about it. They say if you just change yourself, everything else will change. There's a butterfly effect in that regard, meaning one changed behavior consistently over time will catapult and snowball into many, many, many other changes. And it's been proven. It's been proven in the Power of Habit book. It's been proven in Atomic Habits book. Like, you stack things on other a little bit over time consistently does have profound results. So if you have a blind spot and you're wanting to work on something and you go, that's an interesting blind spot, I need to make that better. Maybe it is, I need to listen more. I know I do. That's one of my things I'm working on. So, because I like to talk. Clearly, I'm talking in all these videos to you. Maybe another thing is with your kids, maybe you just need to show up and not say anything, not nag them. Just show up and be present. That could be a blind spot for you. My husband and I had this conversation this morning, is that I need to be in the office more here, and I'm shooting in the office. So I do a lot from my home office, and my amazing admin is in the office, so we have a disconnect. We have meetings scheduled throughout the week, but I don't stay here a lot. And so he was like, what if you came to the office more and were more present? And I thought, that's interesting. I wonder what that would do. That could be a blind spot that I'm missing, like that opportunity to engage and be there and be supportive to someone that works for me. That might be something that I need to look into. Out of ease and comfort, I stayed at home and worked from my home office because I can get other things done. But now I know, maybe what if I did a couple more days at the office, right? That would be a blind spot that I'm thinking of making changes on. So one of the things I would challenge you as a business owner, entrepreneur, as a mom, even if you're not and you're just like a kid and you're watching this like growing up, think about what blind spots you have in your life every day. What is something that if you're working on something, like if it's fitness or if it's a relationship, maybe evaluate what's going on and really do a self-audit and just be thinking quietly and journaling about what exactly happens every day. And I had a friend, when we were looking at diet, she was saying that she was tracking all her food, and she's like, I don't know, I'm not losing weight. This is so weird. This is pre-Ozempic days, by the way. And the funniest thing is that I said, well, let's go back and really think about what is you putting in your mouth? And it's not just meal tracking, because she said she was meal tracking. She forgot to include the handful of M&Ms that every time she went by someone's office, she would grab a handful of M&Ms. And I asked her, how many times do you go by that office in a day? And she said at least 6 or 7. So she's grabbing 6 or 7 handfuls of M&Ms every day. I don't know. It's probably going to be an issue if you're trying to lose weight, right? That's a blind spot. That would be an example of that with food. So where do you have blind spots in your work, your relationships, in your personal health? Maybe there's things like you don't want to face it, that you need better discipline. Mine is like, I need to go to bed sooner. I don't know why, but I sabotage that every night. I know why, because I need discipline. So that's a blind spot. So that would be an example that I think that would help you make a lot of movement in your life if you just sit still and just work on one area at a time. Like, don't overwhelm yourself with like, I got blind spots here, I got blind spots. That's gonna shut you down and you're not gonna do anything. So maybe just pick one area and just, journal about what blind spots you may have. If you're really focused on work and getting your numbers up for your business, maybe that would be one area to focus on. What are the blind spots in my business? If you're really focusing on relationships, or you're trying to figure out why you can't get married if you're single, maybe it's working on that. And maybe what are you putting out there that's not attracting the right person, right? So those are kind of things that I would challenge you to do. And as you're trying to grow and develop, especially as you're going through the seasons of life, if you're in the childbearing years, if you've had your first baby and you're pregnant with your second baby, maybe a blind spot would be, how do I show up in this fairly or in a way that makes you feel fulfilled for both children, right? Because we have children of different ages that we battle as moms sometimes. Or how do you make sure your relationship with your husband stays intact? Because at the end of the day, that's the most important relationship. That's a whole nother video. That is something I really, really feel very strongly about, is that you need to think about what blind spots you have in your life and business to help you move forward. Because sometimes the answers are right within yourself, but you don't want to look at them. So you're going to be forced to have that conversation with yourself on what do you need to fix blind spot wise and work on. It's not overnight, to move you forward in business and life. And if you like this content and it's interesting to you, please subscribe and hit the little bell to get notifications. I love to help women in general. I mean, I like to help men too, but I really love helping women and seeing that whole journey from young women all the way into middle age, because I'm in middle age now. I really don't know what it's going to be like later on, so I'll probably broaden it later on. But until next time, it's always so great to share this amazing journey with you.